Today in the morning, one of the Manaka sisters, Manaka, she was on the David Mashabela YouTube channel, and they had an interview. She talked about her distancing from the church, and also spoke about her knowledge about men. And I thought, let's go and see what was being said. If you were on the news channel, you might have noted that I mentioned the TD Jakes lawsuit. Okay, you would realize that I said something about the TD Jakes lawsuit, and I said I'll come back to the lawsuit when I have seen the paperwork around that period. I have, and I will be publishing it on the news channel. So do check that particular channel. It will be down in the pinned comment. I will publish the paperwork over there. Finally got it, and it will be over there. I'm sure I'll have it done by 4 o'clock. So do check the channel, subscribe over there if you are not subscribed, and I'll see you over there. So let's go to her church experience.
Exactly, so don't come and tell me stories about things that came with a ship here. You know what I mean? So, but I do...
Mostly they say that when they're speaking about a Bible.
Do respect the people in the journey. I just wish that they respected us that don't want to be in that journey.
Okay, so here she was talking about people in the Rastafari movement and stuff. And then also she coupled it with people that are in church with things that came here in a ship. And she speaks about a relationship from that perspective.
Equally. I mean, we were born there. We were yoked there.
Church.
We were baptized there. We were everything there, And you grow up, and then you start asking questions. And then when they say, get out, what must can happen?
Okay. I think I've explained this a lot on this channel. We have to understand the church climate in South Africa is not very well knowledgeable. There's a lot of places you can go to where they don't know a lot of things. There's a lot of questions you can have that they won't have answers for. I think they don't do it any better because they just dismiss you. Okay, so a lot of pastors, especially the old timers, they don't know how to answer some of these questions. The new pastors that are now coming, about Gift Maseko, who now has a church, by the way, if you haven't seen, on his Instagram, he's published where they are going. And Abu Nicholas Mbanjwa studied apologetics, so they will have your answers, but don't expect the old timers to have that information, and so we should be forgiving in that. It doesn't help, but let's understand where they come from.
And so therefore I'm very much spiritually inclined.
By that, I guess she has other spiritual practices that she gets,
because it speaks to, for me, it speaks and connects me to the ancestor that like one of the very, very first ancestors, like my oldest ancestor, the one.
So I don't understand something. So how does not getting answers about things pertaining church and the Bible and God turn you to ancestors? Like, how does that, if it is a knowledge thing, if it is a question of the Bible thing, you go to find answers. You don't go, okay, I don't have answers, and then I go the other way. I'll give an example in that area. I had questions about Islam when I was over there. They didn't have the answers. So I didn't leave Islam because of that. I went to ask the questions online. I found the answers, and I was like, okay, based on that, I didn't leave because they didn't give me the answers.
Like my oldest ancestor, the ones that didn't see the white man, the ones that didn't, wear the shirts, and the ones that didn't have to hold that book. You know what I mean? Those ancestors is what I choose to.
I feel like that doesn't do it justice, but hey, each and every man to his own. So that's the part about church. I think she just didn't ask questions to the people that believe, and also the people that actually have the answers. They are there now, and so you can still go and ask. But anyways, so this takes their conversation to a place where I thought, okay, now that's something else.
If I were never honest with myself, I don't know what kind of human being I'd be. I choose honesty. I hate lies. I've broken up with people because of lies. I have broken relationships because of lies. I don't take lies very lightly because I don't lie a lot.
Yeah. You see, when a person says that, like when a person says, you know what, you do this, I don't do this. So what do? You don't lie. Okay. But what do you do? Like, everybody has that thing about them that other people would look at and say, no. If you see yourself as just this innocent person,
No, I don't take lies very lightly because I don't lie a lot.
yes.
I'll just throw in there like one of those, what do they call them in English?
White lies.
White lies,
Yes.
Yeah, one here, one there, But
So you do. So a lie is a lie, whether it's white or it's black or it's yellow. It's a lie. so unless you're exempting a lie as white or black or what, but it's still a lie. I don't think we should be the ones that say this is a white lie. It's only the other person that will tell you, no, this is a lie, period. Not for us to, okay, excuse it.
But I'm not generally a liar.
Yes.
I hate.
So it's
lies.
to wait.
But I'm not generally a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, but what is your thing? You see, the Bible makes it very clear that we, Hebrews, the book of Hebrews has this verse. You can go and Google it. It says, the sin that so easily besets you. What is it? What is yours? What is the sin that so easily? Is yours pride? Is yours, which one easily besets you? Which is the sin that you, because you don't lie, no problem. You only do white lies, no problem. But which is your sin that so easily besets you? Is it victimhood? What is it? Because everybody has that. You see, the moment we fall into this basket of thinking we are this amazing shining globe, oh, we are about to get into it.
I hate.
So it touches you deeply when somebody lies.
Yes.
Does it come from anywhere? This perspective. Not that all of us should take it well when people lie.
Yeah.
So, good point. Yes, definitely. Lies, we shouldn't take them lightly. So she sits, she thinks about it, and this is the answer.
I think, when you grow up around certain things that you were told as a child, and then you grow up and realize that you were just being fed lies, So for me, the first thing was, pardon me, Manaka, and I want to prove that. Like, okay,
let's see what happens.
I'm like, okay, let me eat, and I know that I'm gonna be.
So, if you don't know what she's talking about myths. So, when they would say, like, don't eat when you are lying down and all this. So she says she would test those things and thingy. So, wait, so you built a truth defense mechanism over myth?
I make peace with the fact that should it happen, You know, I'm going to be laughing stock. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be teased.
Okay.
You know, so I make peace with that first, and then I do it again to see if they'll grow. And they never did.
And that's a lie.
It's a lie. You know, so...
You could have started the original creation of the show, Mythbusters. You should have done that. To get all these myths.
You know?
If I eat from a pot,
and I
the
think
day
it
I
all
get
came
married,
from
it'll rain.
I think it came from the myths, yes.
Yes.
It really did, you know, because I proved a lot of them wrong. As
So you built a defense mechanism about lies from myths. Then she moved on to the gender descriptions. And I thought this was an interesting part of it.
Don't have a clear tomboyish character. I guess in wheelchair.
Yes.
But yet you can be.
Yes, I can go there if you want me to.
You see what I mean? And that's why I say it's not, you don't cut it straight.
It's like okay, 99% of the time.
You see what I mean? And then I say,
but I know how to.
But you're a girl. But
Yes.
yet you.
So she knows when to cut off being Mjita. Okay.
There's the slide.
Yes. And
So you choose your spaces.
Yes, I do.
She's a guy's guy, basically. But then her descriptions are very interesting, like how she divides the genders
We're in denial that it's happening. You know what I mean?
amongst guys.
But the one thing I know is that girls call each other out
Okay, tell
and
me.
men don't.
By Yakuza.
Yeah,
Abusisi.
females. Yeah,
Bazuti.
female.
Even Mashabela had to think about that because, of course, it doesn't fit him. So he's wondering where does she get this idea, basically.
By Yakuza.
Yeah, females.
Abusisi.
Yeah,
Bazuti.
females call each other out as girlfriends.
Really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, there's a scoop.
And from my experience, men don't.
Let me get this clear. Once you have generalized description of people, especially gender specifically, you have to kind of be correct about it, right? You have to like if you say women are emotional beings, we know that. We all know that. When she makes a generalized analysis like that men don't call out wrong. Now, I want to make an analysis from that, from my own experience.
Men don't call so now, I'll even take it further. You know, very few men can do this. You know?
Very few.
Also with the era that we come from, you know, as black people, as, you know, people who were raised by somewhat, you know, chauvinism, you know, in a way. Men are able to sit and watch their friend beat up their girlfriend.
This guy is just talking. Shut up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, where did she get that? Okay, let's let her speak.
Sure.
But girls aren't able to sit and watch their friend being beaten up.
What kind of people have you been next to? I'll tell you the only context what you are saying even happens. It's when a man has yes men as friends, because they are either the one who is mureki, who is the one who is paying for everything. You know, we came to a party because we were driven in your car, we are at your house. You know, yes men. When a man has yes men around him, he might not get called out. And so at this point, like I said, at this point she's just talking. That's the most inaccurate of any gender. Oh yeah, it's a general, men don't call each other out, they will just sit and watch. No, there's no such. I think the confrontations between men and women are actually more intense with men, which is why men fight a lot and resolve. Okay, give you this analogy. This is why men fight a lot and they resolve issues quicker. This one you can actually, there's been studies that have been made on that. Men will fight quicker and will resolve issues much quicker. Because why? when you sit back, you're like, he was right. I used to watch a lot of karate films. And as a result of my karate film watching, I thought I could really do this thing, you know? One day, somebody pissed me off. I challenged them to a fight in front of an entire class, and he just kicked me. He kicked me, and that was it. Quick resolution. It resolved very quickly. And guess what? Me and that person were friends. And our friendship became more tight. His name was Lisan Mswan. Kicked me, that was it. I learned very quickly. Okay? Shouldn't have done that. You are in the wrong. You know, it settles it much quicker, and we became friends. The entire part of our primary friendship, we never had a fight after that. We fight quicker, but we resolve even much quicker. And so that's because the confrontations are instant. For women, teasing gets to them. And so teasing can easily be seen as bullying with the thing. But with guys, teasing comes in, it helps you shape up. It sets in. So the confrontations and confronting nature within men, it's very quickly. So that's why I'm saying she's just talking at this point. Now, to prove that she is just talking, guess what she says next?
So ngena sonke, nails and all, wig able to sit and watch their friend being beaten up. So ngena sonke, nails and all, wigs and all.
Yeah.
You know?
Even whether
That's bogus. She's talking about group fight, that the friends will fight in and what. The same thing with men. She's being selective. Now, she was selective about white lie, and you know, remember back then. So I wonder if she's been selective about how she sees men's confrontations.
Gonna sit there and watch you being beaten, you know, and not think, fuck, I've been through this and I will never, you know what I mean? So you're with the wrong group of friends.
that's amazing.
Ngene mfana ngene.
Mad.
You know what I mean? And I just sit there and listen and be like, guys, you know.
So you just sat there, or you will just sit and listen to them. Let me get this right? So you will sit and listen to them talk like that. Which hit him, and then and men don't call themselves out. You were there. You didn't call it out. Very clear. I had two friends when I was in high school. Two friends who were girls. Her name was Marsha. The other one's name was Esther. These are real friends. That's their real names. Now, to any of these ladies, don't take this the wrong way. Y'all were awesome friends. But I'll give you this instant. Marsha was more of whatever the guys were saying, that's it. You know, that's the way we're going. Oh yeah, look at that birdie right there. Yeah, no, that's the conversation we are having. Okay? But when it came to Esther, who was a lot more closer to me and knew me much well, very well, she knew the real Ricky. And so if I was out of line, she would visibly show it, that she didn't like what the conversation was, and so forth. And so around Esther, we watched what we were talking about and stuff like that. And so because of Esther, that friendship shapes up. It shapes the person as well. Okay? Around Marsha, there isn't much shaping, because whatever wild nonsense we are thinking, we are talking, and then that's just that. So what happens is that the one that corrects you is the one that shapes you, right? And guess what? After high school, after all those years of thingy, who was the friend that I thought, I wonder where this person was? And women are like, There's no such. We are all either enabling a behavior or we are not. We don't endorse it. And also, in the same way, if a person grows to becoming having a yes man around them, they have to recognize that. To say, okay, you know what? I'm kind of becoming that guy amongst my friends, where all my friends are a little bit financially dependent on me when we're going out and stuff like that. Now, it's that person's responsibility to see this is not beneficial to anything. And mostly, people like that who want yes men around them, they do not want people that will call them out. It's just the general way things are. So, her calling the Mandans out and saying, oh yeah, the men were doing this, but okay, you were there and you were listening to that conversation. You didn't call it out. So, but it goes back again to being selective about, white lies and not lying at all and all of that stuff. We say about ourselves that we are friends, we are amazing friends and whatnot and stuff like that. But what are we really claiming at that point? Like, what are we claiming? When she had questions about church, she didn't go through with asking all the questions. And even when the opportunity would arise, the old timers churches that you were going to, probably they didn't have the answers. Nowadays we have the internet, we have whatnot. The pastor has no reason to not have the answers. The questions have been raised, the answers are out there. They can go educate themselves and be able to answer those questions. But for them to remain ignorant, that's kind of their thing, right? And so, but then at wanting to hold other people responsible, like everybody's just wrong. Like, the church is wrong. They don't have the answers. The Rastafarians are wrong. They don't have the answers. The men are wrong. They don't do this. It's like, whoa. Whoa. Where is this? We all had friends either that shape our interactions and others who enabled our interactions. By enabled, I don't mean that you were there like, yeah. But sitting there with someone who you are saying that you were just there listening. What are we saying? It's Ricky, we're done here.